Greetings, my royal subjects. It is I, Tiara, and in this kingdom, we glow up internally and have fun doing it. Did you see what I did there? You see my tiara? You see I'm just like so on brand right now, like I love a good theme. And today we are going to be talking about Disney princess movies and how they set us up with some pretty unrealistic standards and ideas about love. Think of it as a two-part to my video, Why Do We Glorify Struggle Love? Now I grew up with Disney, okay? The princess movies, the channel, the original movies. I've been to Disneyland a few times and I still go to Disney events now. Like if there's a Disney event in my area, you will see me on a stage. But the princess movies especially were a comfort for me because I'm the product of divorced parents who went through a 14-year messy custody battle. So growing up, I never really had like a healthy model of love and romance. So I did what any kid would do. I went to the media. Disney movies sort of became my blueprint for love and romance because it gave me something to hold on to. I would wake up, I'd be like, is today the day I meet my Prince Charming?
Why do you hoes act like if you ain't in no relationship, you gon' die? Y'all be weak in the knees. Stand up! Stand up!
But growing up, I never really felt pretty or desirable, so when guys would be interested in me, which was pretty rare growing up, I would think he has to be the one for me. He has to be my Prince Charming, and the bare minimum would literally sweep me off my feet because when you don't have a lot of self-worth, it's the smallest acts of attention from someone that will feel like a big deal to you. I took it as a sign.
Hey!
I'm so sorry. Are you hurt?
Hey.
These movies had me convinced that love should be instant, it should be magical, it should be one of a kind, and once you find it, all your problems will be solved. And if you're someone that also grew up with divorced parents or any sort of family drama, you probably understand where I'm coming from. It's like when you don't grow up with that example, the media sort of fills that gap, but it's not always realistic. You know what else isn't realistic? The idea that love should just feel like an instant connection. The whole true love's kiss and love at first sight and I've been dreaming of a true love's kiss. These movies make you think that love is something that just happens with a single glance. You'll never question if you found the one, instead you'll just know. And for someone like me who didn't grow up seeing steady relationships, I just ran with this idea that initial attraction meant more than it actually was, which just led to me being disappointed when things wouldn't work out with the guys I was talking to. Like I was basically Anna from Frozen. I thought things were supposed to feel immediate and intense, like there should always be that spark, but sometimes that spark can be confused with things like anxiety or scarcity mindset. Like I would make eye contact with a guy and be like, oh, I'm sorry, are you my husband? Did we just make eye contact and hold it for longer than 2 seconds? Like, what's going on here? Hold on, like stop. Okay, like let's go to the chapel. You got me, like you convinced me. Now, I do not believe in love at first sight because I don't think you can rush love. I think it's just something that develops over time. And if you actually want a healthy, stable, long-term relationship, then you're gonna need more than just that initial excitement and that attraction that you have for that other person. You're gonna need a solid foundation. It's okay to feel excited about a new connection, but just please use discernment, okay? And don't throw your standards out the window just because someone's interested in you. Please.
Stand up!
If you feel like you need to rush a connection in order to keep someone, then that's probably a sign that they're not worth keeping. Or it's a sign that you need to look inward and slow down your attachment to things. Real connections unfold naturally without force or compromising who you are. In the classic princess movies, Disney would put Prince Charming on a pedestal. And so did I, yeah. There's this idea that love will come in and rescue you and change your life. Now, little Tiara, little me, who longed for stability, she was eating up the storyline. She loved the storyline. And honestly, I get it because it's such a comforting thought to believe that someone else can make everything better. But looking back, it really set her up to believe that she needed someone else to feel complete and validated. She was always putting guys on pedestals and waiting to be saved. I remember in elementary school, I would go to sleep almost every single night for months watching The Princess and the Frog. And even though Tiana's story wasn't necessarily about her being saved, it still made romance the ultimate path to her happiness happiness and her success. Like, she fell in love and then everything worked out. She got her restaurant, she got the guy, she got everything that she wanted. But romance was kind of what tied it all together. The idea of meeting Prince Charming is nice. It's a nice thought, absolutely. But it's not realistic because guess what? A lot of these motherfuckers are flawed. A lot of people have a lot of problems and issues and a lot of flaws, including me. I have my own flaws and issues, and you probably have your own flaws and issues, and you know why? Because you are human. So if you are expecting to find a perfect person to fill the void, that's not healthy, Pookie. It's not healthy, babe. It's not.
I ain't mad at you. I just want to talk to you.
We should be holding space for people to be themselves in a relationship instead of expecting them to save us or relying on them to make us feel secure. It's time to start taking responsibility for your own happiness, okay? Your world does not have to be centered around a man of all things, or a woman of all things, or a person of all things. Something I'm still learning. And that's the thing, when we are so focused on finding that perfect person and putting them on a pedestal, we start to believe that love means being willing to sacrifice a core part of yourself for someone else or to keep someone else. Like, Ariel sacrificed her voice and her life under the sea for Prince Eric, and eventually her legs. And I know she wanted to live on land anyway, but still, it was a big sacrifice. Tiana was willing to risk her dream of opening a restaurant to be with Naveen, and Aladdin sacrificed his morals by lying to Jasmine. I just feel like it gives off this impression and this message that love is something that should be measured based on how much you're willing to give up for the relationship. Does that make sense? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we should debate about it in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. I do think that love will sometimes require you to compromise and work through differences, and sometimes there will be a little bit of a sacrifice, of course. Well, yes. But the idea that you should love someone through all their issues, even if it's toxic, or make some grand gesture to keep them, that's a little bit insane to me, babe. Like, I don't think I can get behind that.
I thought I told you to come down to dinner. You'll come out or I'll break down the door!
It also reinforces those traditional gender roles where the woman, in most cases, is putting aside her needs to make the relationship work. And sacrificing yourself for love sounds noble because it's seen as the ultimate sacrifice, but it can also lead to self-abandonment in the process. When I experienced my first real heartbreak, part of the reason it hurt so bad was because I was sacrificing so much of myself to keep the relationship intact. Like, I thought that if I just gave more, things would work out. But it only led to me losing myself and being codependent. There has to be some sort of limit or a balance to how much you're willing to give, because no one should be sacrificing their self-worth or their boundaries or their dreams in the name of love. Is that a hot take? Like, am I the villain right now?
You want me to be the bad guy? Fine. Now I'm the bad guy.
And let's talk about the idea of happily ever after. The idea that once you find the one, everything will be perfect and everything will fall into place. This sets us up with unrealistic expectations because no single relationship on this earth is ever going to be 100% perfect. Okay? Sometimes things are going to feel stagnant. Sometimes you're going to struggle. Sometimes you're going to go through differences. But that doesn't mean that you should give up, or that the relationship failed, or that the grass is going to be greener with somebody else. And on the flip side, just because you think that someone is the one doesn't mean that you should stay with them if they occasionally treat you like shit. Seeing someone's potential isn't a good enough reason to put up with toxic behavior, because no matter how much you love them, love alone cannot change their behavior.
Then go ahead and starve! If she doesn't eat with me, then she doesn't eat at all.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
The happily ever after isn't a reflection of real love. Love is not a singular act or a magical moment. It's the effort behind your actions and the little things you do each day to show love. Now, I know this isn't from a Disney movie, but I think that BoJack Horseman said it best when he said,
"All I know about being good, I learned from TV. And in TV, flawed characters are constantly showing people they care with these surprising grand gestures. And I think that part of me still believes that's what love is. But in real life, the big gesture isn't enough. You need to be consistent. You need to be dependably good. You need to do it every day. When you're a kid, you convince yourself that maybe the grand gesture could be enough.
Real love is about everyday actions. It's about showing up and putting in the effort and putting in the work and actually wanting to be there, because love is a choice and commitment is a decision. Like, that's one of my favorite sayings ever, and you have to be consistent with it. Disney movies did not ruin love for me. It just made me rethink it. I still watch Disney movies for comfort and for the nostalgia because I grew up with those movies, and in many ways they give me hope. Like, I've been telling so many of my friends lately that I am in my almost there era. Like, I literally feel like Tiana before she gets her big break. I don't want to turn into a frog or nothing. I don't really want to hit rock bottom again.
I'm having a fucking panic attack right now. I need to calm the fuck down because I'm having a panic attack.
But like, I do feel like I'm almost there in terms of following my dreams and going after what it is that I want and not letting anybody tell me differently. Even though I focused on a lot of like the negatives in this video and the unrealistic expectations that Disney movies kind of carry, a lot of them do have really good positive messages in them.
Yeah, right.
I've just learned to find a balance between fairy tale and real life, because love is not a fairy tale, and sacrificing yourself or expecting someone to come in and swoop up and save you isn't realistic, and it's not healthy either.
Stand up!
It's okay to enjoy a certain media while also recognizing that there are parts of it that need to be critiqued. So like the music you listen to, the movies that you watch, the shows that you watch, there are parts of it that probably don't align with a healthy real life representation of love, right? And those parts deserve to be questioned. They deserve to be critiqued. We should be having these conversations. I should know, because I graduated with a degree in communications, and we were always critiquing media and making things deeper than it probably needed to be. And that's probably why I made such a long video on Disney princess movies, and I will end it here, because you're probably tired of hearing about it. Anyways. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, prove it by giving it a thumbs up, and let me know in the comments what your favorite Disney movie was growing up. It doesn't have to be a princess movie, but if it was a princess movie, let me know. And as your princess of the kingdom, I hereby issue a royal decree. If you have not yet subscribed, you must do so immediately. Should you refuse, my loyal guards will come and throw you in the deepest dungeon, leaving you to rot for eternity. Or at least until next week's video. Bye! Some of my favorite princess movies literally made me believe that my romantic life was going to unfold like a fairy tale. And spoiler alert, it didn't, or at least not yet anyway, because a girl can dream, right? Right?